Cool. So we're not going to start off this episode like the normal intro yet. Obviously, for those that know or don't know, we had our Instagram live.
Yes.
Fortunately, Jarrell couldn't connect, or we're not going to ask Sean what happened because we know what Sean thinks was happening. We don't know what he done to the live before we all started to...
We might have to do a new hashtag free Sean, honestly.
But do you know what? Before the live though, we actually had our own one, didn't we? A practice one.
We were fine.
Absolutely fine.
So there's only one situation that changed. But
and then that's it. What, me?
Continue, it's fine. Continue.
Okay, cool. I see how it is. So... We're going to fire some of the questions that we got told and what we eat. It doesn't matter. Come on. You made me sit in this seat. No, sit in the seat. We got a host.
We got to change that.
It's his fault. You pushed me out of the corner. So, a couple of things. We'll start off with, and Sean, feel free, jump in. We'll go with the short fire questions that we had. So, we'll start off with that, nice and easy. Hot or cold?
Ooh. Born in the winter. I'm gonna go hot.
Yeah. Beach or city?
City. I'm not a big fan of sand.
Okay. Gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Good. Is it plantain or plantain?
Plantain.
You better say it, right? You better say that, right?
Yeah. Cat or dog?
Cat.
Anything else?
I would say good memory.
Yeah.
How did you remember?
There's a bit more, I think Jar chucked in, what was it, Jamaica or...
Of course he did.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Okay, Jamaica or the Caribbean?
They're the same place. All in the same place.
Hey.
City or...
We've done that.
No, well, help me then.
I mean, I can't remember any of them.
Right, okay.
So that's why I just stayed quiet.
You really impressed
You did good, you did good. I can't remember any of them.
Take a timestamp. So then we also had a question, which I then had to go back and ask this person, what the hell did you mean? So this person wanted to know if we could give the listeners and viewers a bit of a backstory of what goes into the podcast. So more of a backstage element of, so we met here today, what steps and what have we done for today to happen?
Okay.
And you could probably do it from the past week or whatever.
All right. Well, we've all had super busy days, I assume. Like I've come from work. You just come from London.
Yep.
Yeah. Mum, she's superwoman. You know how they do.
Yeah.
So we got here. When I got here, me and Bilal did some testing on the mics, the audio. The place was quite busy when we got here, so I wanted to see what the difference with people being, which was a good test to see, like how it matters when people are around and not around, or
if you can make it
through.
work.
Yeah. So if it was really busy out there, then would we be able to record as well as we normally could? And then everybody else came in, and so we was doing some camera setup, some lighting.
I mean, there was more.
There's way more.
There was more. We had to get some extra mics, because we want to make sure the audio quality is there, so we had to pick those up, drop them to Bilal to check them out, to test them. We had to, I say we, it's been me, but we're not going to get into that. Obviously, had to think about the agenda, the topic for today, the what we're going to get into, So it's not just, we don't just come here and talk and just kind of wing the whole thing. We do have a plan, and we're getting better at doing that. Definitely. So there's a lot involved. A lot.
There's a lot of back and forth, and on top of that, like social media posts. We've all got to put ideas into social media.
Yeah, social media.
What's going on there?
And actually, this week, obviously, we had to change our original recording slot. So actually, that's another element of them fitting around our busy schedules and things like that. So
this is how you know we love you guys.
That's
because we be doing this after work.
Right now, it's what, 7:45 in the evening.
I started my day, so I got up at 7 o'clock today.
Yeah, not long before
back in work by 7:30.
But here we are. Here we are.
But also, let us know if you guys want us to do like a follow one of us or all of us for the day. We can compile it and then put it out. If you guys want to see, I think maybe we could do it in all 3 stages. Maybe we could do it from like getting all the content, sending out topic ideas,
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
meetings, social medias, etc., etc. We could do that.
That's a good idea.
And then there was another question in regards to. Well, maybe we shouldn't go on to that one actually.
I mean, you can't back out now, son.
About experiences, if we were going to get like people coming into the studio, guests, and if we were looking to do things outside, and I let the viewers and the audience know that you've been going to a few things, but we'll get into that.
Good, I think.
A little bit later.
We'll have a bit more time, but we have discussions about that stuff all the time. Like today, I put something into the group chat that we're going to look into.
Yes,
things like that. So
that was the question. If you could have a guest, alive or dead, who would you have?
Oh, if I could have a guest, alive or dead. Oh. Anybody. Do I have to know that person?
Nope.
Nah.
I chose Alex Ferguson.
Oh, that's a good one.
And Sean picked. It wasn't Barry White. Who did you pick? Someone joked about Barry White.
Yeah, I think someone said that. Yeah, I think Malcolm X was one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know what I think would have such an interesting life? Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Oh, what a legend. I think we mentioned him.
Yeah.
We mentioned him, but what a legend.
Interesting life.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Something like that. Someone
Gets a history.
But they've been through lots of different stages of life, like segregation and things like that. There was nothing but that stuff would interest me, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
And them little details that history would have missed out or would have not known about.
Or changed.
Yeah.
To suit
Whoever
teaching
the writer
us.
is, yeah.
Facts,
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Well, thanks for that. Guys, welcome to the episode. Seems legit. I'm Sim.
Jarrell.
We've got Jarrell Wonder.
Free Sean, you already know, Free Sean.
He's asked me to introduce him as Bad Man.
Who said that? Listen, just Free Sean, get the hashtag going, Free Sean, because guess what?
I'm sure that's what he said.
These two have been bullying. Listen, if they could, they'd have me on the side of the sofa, like half my face.
That's it. Why are you sat there?
You know what I'm saying? So here we are, you know what I mean? Your boy's a big team player, you know what I mean? So yeah, Free Sean, hashtag, let's get it going.
The gender is crazy.
Hey, trust
Exactly.
me. Trust
Crazy.
So yeah, thank you for joining us. Obviously, do you want to go for your socials? Follow us on Seems Legit on Instagram, Pod, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok.
Yay. Yes.
My social link is xxsimubabyxx.
Mine is jgums234.
Mine's _sgums_. Hashtag Free Sean. But yeah, man.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into
Let's
it.
get into it.
I'm ready for today. I'm really looking forward to today because we left it with the last episode talking about AI and we kind of hesitated a little bit getting too into it because of time. Obviously, we don't want to do a 2-hour episode. So yeah, today let's pick up where we left off. I think is probably the best way to put it. And
I think the question that we want to ask, and obviously get your input as well, is if technology allowed you, if AI, the way AI is going, allowed you to, would you, I want to say connect, but I mean more like communicate, have conversations with, I'm not going to say conversate because we've just learned that's not a word, have conversations with someone who is no longer here on the living earth, let's say. Would you take the opportunity? If you would, why would you? If you wouldn't, why wouldn't you? We'll start off.
I think we should give the background of why and where we saw it first, no?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's break that down. So not obviously, there's a series called Black Mirror on Netflix.
So good.
Really good show, and they've been doing this for many, many years and ahead of the time when it came to AI, before anyone even thought about these kind of things. And one of the episodes is where a lady and her boyfriend, they go to a new house, he goes out to buy some milk, and he dies in a car crash. And she just struggles with losing him because she stepped into this new place and she's all alone now. And during the funeral, a family member comes up and she says, look, there's this service that can help you get through this kind of grieving. And she's not interested at the start, but then she looks into it. And when she does, what it basically says is this: and it's so many years ago, we can get him to speak to you on the phone, but what we're going to need is access to all of his social medias to understand how he talks, what's his lingo, what's his humor, and his messages, everything that we all keep, you know, we all have this footprint, I guess you could say. And so she uploads it takes some time, and then a couple of days later she gets a phone call and it's his voice, you know, and they get this from obviously videos of him speaking and everything. And this is where we got this question from, you know, if it is yourself and you've lost someone, and it could be anyone, would you buy into that service? And especially now, because we've seen AI doing Drake songs and everything else, so it's clearly possible. Would you want to hear your loved one on the phone? So yeah, that's the background of the question. And I'm going to fire it back at Simi, and I'm going to ask her, what would you do?
I don't think I could. The person that I am, I'm too emotional. So, but I find it easier in a way dealing with someone that's passed, because they're passed, they're no longer here. I can see that I dream about them sometimes here and there, but I know a dream isn't reality. I know there's no crossover between my dreams and reality. If I was to then pick up a phone and be able to talk to someone who's no longer here, I'm too emotional. I don't think I can detach emotionally as much as I would love to. I don't think I could. I think I would become probably a little bit like the Black Mirror episode. I think I would become very obsessed with it, to an unhealthy obsession. So I think just leaving it where it is, having a clear line on what is reality and what is my dream, I would have to stick with that.
It's interesting.
Devil's advocate, as I love to play.
But before you do that, obviously there's more to it than that. Are we?
Yeah.
Are we just saying we're going to scratch ourselves and then we're going to go
back in? We're going to get into that part because I hear what Simi's saying, but here's my devil's advocate question. You're on your own. You know, you're obviously speaking from your perception right now of you have your family and everyone around you and your friends and everything. Yeah. You're on your own.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere, because that's where she is.
She was, yeah. Are you asking me if I was in her position?
Pretty much.
I want to say yes, because I am alone. You would be alone, and you would you would crave that presence of the person there with you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, and it's a bit of a spoiler because I've seen the episode, and I can see that he wasn't really him. Although he spoke like him, he looked like him, she still had to try to tell him there was little like personality traits that he wasn't getting. And like there was one point in the episode where she was like, just go downstairs, sleep downstairs. And he got up and walked out, and she was like, no, like he wouldn't do that. Like, and then he was like, oh, okay. And they got back in bed. And I was like, that was my switch of being like,
we're gonna have to tell because now she's.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask you the question first. I think we're selling the story.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do the story.
The background.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to develop the background. Like a city, you can't keep a secret for 2 minutes. Do you know what I'm saying? But let me just quickly get a little bit back into the story. So as you know, she then says yes to the server. She speaks to her partner. Well, the AI version of her partner. Yeah. And they say, look, you know, there's a higher level of this service where they can pretty much upload all of this data and personalities and everything of him into a silicon body. And yeah, she does it. She does it. And so now you have him and all of the data and the voice and everything and the physical features of him in the episode. And as Simi's kind of obviously said, you know, the thing is, it is him to some degree, but it's not him because and we're trying to stay on the AI thing here. His soul, that's not him. Yeah, you know, and no matter how much data and everything we have in the world and who everyone sees you online, like who you are inside is not that. You know, there's still so much more to you. I think that's probably one of the clear messages in the episode. So breaking that down really quickly.
Yeah,
And hopefully
sorry
clearly. It's all right. Wanda, what's your take on it?
For me, I don't think I'd be that person. A bit like Sim, the reality and stuff like that. But I think where we're at the age now, like I've seen a lot of, not seen, but I've experienced death of loved ones and things like that. So I think when you've been through those stages, I think, you know, you don't want to get into that. Obviously, when you're alone and you're, you know, maybe, I don't know, you don't know what kind of headspace you'll ever be in if you're in that situation. But I'd like to think, so my thing was like, I watched it, I know it's a TV show, blah, blah. But in reality, there's probably steps she could have done to be closer to home or be more reconnected with people of love. Like, because I'm sure she had family in it and loved ones. Yeah, she had sisters and things like that. So that would be my thing. And in the end, she was lying to them for certain things, if you remember. So like, there was other steps to take. Yeah, I feel, you know.
She just went straight.
She went straight to that, and I get it.
Yeah.
And maybe it's different for emotional people. Like, I'm not hugely the most emotional person, so you know, I might be able to detach. Whereas you said, like you said,
yeah, I wouldn't be able to. Yeah.
So
well, you wouldn't do any of the steps. So at first it was messages, then it went to phone calls, and then it was human form. Would you do any of them?
So. I don't think I would.
No.
No. No.
Interesting.
I think when you're talking about it, I think when is also a key part here, because we're talking about through our own experiences, who people do, and I'm thinking, what's it about my brother and things like that. But I'm thinking 10 years later right now.
That's what I mean.
You know, if this is fresh, because that's when the moment was.
Would you jump at the chance?
And I think that's really where the key part is, because.
But also, don't you think how old you are as well? So like, happened to me at 30 is totally different to happen to me at 20 or 40.
Or when you're 80, 90, you've lost a loved one, you've not really got.
Then you really haven't got all the other people around you so much. So I think age then plays a factor in your decision making as well. Do you know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
It's a very good question, because I also feel, and I know you guys like to gang up on me or not, but I also feel people say they might want to do something, and then if it were to be a situation, their decision may be different, because the pain that you're feeling, you can't even fathom right now. You know, so it's always easier to say, oh, I would do this and oh, I would do that, you know. But would you really, when it really was at that moment? That's the question. So yeah, me personally, I know none of you guys asked me, but I'm going to say it because we've got to go around the table, the chairs.
What would you do, Sean?
I'm going to say yes, I would do it.
You would?
Not the human form.
So are you talking about you would do it, because I know you mentioned your brother and things like that, would you do it for a loved one then? So like a spouse or something?
Yeah, I would do it if it was you. Like, let's keep it 100. If it was you and something happened to you, God forbid, touch some wood somewhere, go. Yeah, man, I would do it. Just let's just chat, chat your Man United stuff, or whatever it is, because that would help me. And
it would help you what?
It would help me. I say heal in ways.
But are you healing?
In a way, I am. Because
can you ever heal if you're
still in constant contact with that person?
You're not then accepting that person is actually gone.
The closure.
But I know what kind of person I am, and I know that you're not here. So this for me is not an attachment of I'm trying to bring you back into something. It's just, do you know what, I'm thinking about it and I miss you. Let me just talk to some form of you. And I would rather that than not, in a way. I think, I'll own it. And if it was my mom, even if it was you, Simi, you know what I'm saying? Actually, maybe not. Maybe not. Text form, text me.
I don't hear her voice anymore.
Leave me on red, you know what I'm saying? She's like, hey, Sean, like, message you tomorrow.
You know that video? I'll be in your basement. I'll be there. Sure.
Hey, nah. I think I would.
Yeah.
I think I know me enough to know I would want that, just that little piece.
Yeah.
But not the human form, because I think that's when you're getting into that. You've already crossed that line of accepting whether they're here or not, because now there is a physical body here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I still think there's probably people that would say yes to that.
Yeah.
And would they be
I
wrong?
think that lots of people that would
Yeah.
buy into something like that.
Yeah.
Would they be wrong in wanting something like that? You know?
I don't think there's a wrong or a right answer. It's all circumstantial, isn't it? How we feel.
True.
But again, I'm always devil's advocate. So this is me thinking just now. Say someone does that, you're not going to outlive the replica of the person that you've lost. So what happens then?
Who comes and shuts it down?
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what then happens? Does it carry on with, if you have a child or something? Well, obviously not with the replica, but I don't know. Maybe replicas can do it.
But they did have a child. But she
has a child, but they done that before.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, then she was going up to hang out with dad. Remember?
Yeah, he was the father.
He was
to her.
in the attic.
Yeah.
He was the father
With
to her.
Because
I think is she eventually accepted that this person isn't blah blah blah, but because she'd already introduced to this now the child and blah blah blah, she then couldn't remove that attachment, because then you open up a can of worms with your child, don't you?
Of course.
So that was quite interesting to see the end part of like.
It was sad.
Yeah, I think it was sad as well.
Because if you, I'm ruining this whole episode for everyone, but there's a part.
No, you guys need to watch it.
It's been out long enough as well, man.
Yeah, watch it. There's a part where she takes him to the cliff.
Yeah.
And she can't kill him.
Yeah.
She can't turn him. Because, and this is where I'm saying I would never get into that part, because ultimately you are almost killing or
Your loved
terminating
one.
this being again.
Yeah.
Like, can you really do that?
And I think, although you know it's not that person, the familiarity of that person. So like you said, if I took you to the cliff and I was sick, like you still look like short. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, brother, you got to jump. That's mad.
Yeah.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
You paid so much money to get back into your life. No.
So,
it's tricky. It's a good question, and everyone at home, ask yourself that question.
Yeah.
You know, if you had that opportunity, would you take it? And I think you'll be surprised by other people's answers, and not just your own, even. You know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Moving on.
we get
Do you want to take the next one?
I want to take the next one.
Go on.
Yeah, it kind of carries on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So another Black Mirror episodes. I was told off because, again, behind the scenes and stuff, we had a chat on it. I had to go watch him.
Yeah.
Do my preparation. But this one was quite interesting, and it kind of follows on from the love one, because this one was another episode where, what was it? A memory? It's like a memory card in your head, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a implant in the side of your head into your brain that's basically recording everything that you can see.
It's like every blink is like a picture or a capture.
Yeah, it's just recording.
But what's interesting is that you can take this recording from your implant and project it onto a screen or a TV, or you can watch it back in your own head, or behind your eyes, like that. So the episode
called Zen eyes.
What's it called?
Zen eyes.
Yeah,
that's what they're called.
So in this episode, a guy uses it to how should I say it without ruining it? Catch his wife's infidelity.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he uses the recordings and her recordings, and it kind of sent it. Although he was right in the end, it kind of sent him a bit like, I don't want to say crazy, but like
it went off.
Yeah, he went off on one.
Yeah.
Because he was able to rewind and watch, and got into that vicious kind of cycle of being able to see it.
Yeah.
So it's like overthinking, but in 4K, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's very good. Yeah.
Like overthinking, but in 4K. So yeah, it was an interesting episode. I think the question is, and I personally think with that technology, you're using it wrong, innit?
What do you mean? Like, what's the right way to use it?
Like we said with the loved one and stuff. Like, I think that is, I would be more inclined to do that, to have the memories of my loved ones who have passed. And that's what I'm saying. It links to things.
Yes.
I would rather have that and be able to, watch back, chilling with my granddad. Him taking me to I remember he used to take me to the bookies when we used to do what's it called, ascot races and that.
Yeah.
He'd let me pick a horse from any colour or whatever, because it sounded good.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So obviously I know he caught his wife and blah blah. In my head, there's better ways to use.
You'd use it in that way.
What about you guys?
I think I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I would definitely use it in that way, because obviously our human minds, it plays tricks on us. You forget details. We maybe sometimes make things up that probably didn't happen, or we over-exaggerate it or under-exaggerate it, like underplay it, I reckon. But to have it there and then, to hear like a laugh or something like that, 100%.
Yeah, because that's one thing, you can actually hear all the audio, everything, can't you? Like,
let's be honest, guys.
Oh, what?
Let's be honest though.
I'm catching a
Is
cheat,
there any
bro. Don't worry, bro.
Everyone, although they would use it for that, they would still use it for other reasons. And here's the thing. And I mean, when you said about the overthinking in 4K, I just thought about this. Now, people have had partners cheat on them and everything else, and etc. etc. And maybe I'm getting this wrong, but from what I know, a lot of times the partner doesn't just accept, oh, you cheated. It's what happened. You know, what's the details? You know, like for them, they really want to understand the situation. Now imagine
You could go back and
you're saying I need to see this.
That's mad.
And then once you see it, now you've already recorded it yourself.
Because you can't.
Yeah.
But you can, if I remember right, you can delete, can't you? Because she tried to run for the tip. He's like, nah.
She tried to delete.
She tried to delete it.
She tried to delete. But I think just the way humans are, although that is the right way to use it, I don't think, because there is no stopping it, we probably would use it for reasons like that.
So again, do you think then it would remove overthinking, because you can clearly just go back and watch it, that either happened or it didn't?
I think if anything, you'd go back, watch it, and overthink what you've seen. Like,
Even
I
though
just
it's
think,
playing in your mind, you think?
Like, but then I think you wouldn't be overthinking what happened. You'll be thinking why. Like the questions that you can't see is the questions you'll be thinking. Why? Was it me? Was it them? Was it this? Was it that? Like, I just don't think it would. I think if anything, it would just lead to more questions that you can't answer.
So let's ask, the real question here, guys, because
It really scares me when you say this.
I scare you all the time. I've looked online because I was trying to do some research about this stuff, and I've seen that there's a website called Neuralink.com, and it's the implant of what we're pretty much talking about. It's a real thing. Check it out, Neuralink.com, and you can basically register to be a test dummy for it when it's ready. If there was a lot of people that start doing this, would you be one of the people that doesn't take the implant, or would you take the implant?
I personally think I wouldn't take the implant, just because it's so new and these things, you never know what happens with these things. But also, I'm not a very big overthinker, and I think having it there in my mind where I can now rewind and stuff like that, I think it would change who I am as a person.
Yeah.
I think
having access to it.
Yeah, I'm not an anxious person. I'm not do these kind of things, and actually then, oh, did I do that? Let me quickly go check. You know what I mean? Like, I'm then creating extra scenarios in my head that I've never pictured or thought about in my life. Do you know what I mean? Just purely because I have access to it. Because when you have access to something, you generally use it, don't you?
Well, that's exactly what I said.
Very good point.
That's exactly what I said.
I think I'm the same with you. Yeah, and I think I would probably use it to solve arguments. Like, I told you to take the bins out. No, you didn't. Actually, yes,
at 4:59.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I think, although I am an overthinker, I just think I'm so much of an overthinker without it. See me with it, nah, we don't need that.
What about in a lawful kind of practice?
That's how I think it should be used.
So, like, I know there's probably some ethics in that there, but using it to solve crime, not solve crimes, but you know what I mean, or investigations and things like that.
Alibis. Where were you? I was here. Were you?
Were you?
All right. Here's a question.
So just before you ask that question, I need to update everyone. So basically, there is a poll going on our story currently right now, and the question was along the lines of what we spoke about in our first topic. If you would get in touch with someone who's no longer here. And currently, 71% of you are saying, what do you think they're saying, yes or no?
I'm going to go for
71%
yes.
is high.
I'm going to go for yes.
It's what?
It's a lot. Knowing our followers, and I think lots of them are like us.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go in no.
Okay, yeah. 71% said no, that they wouldn't.
Which is surprising. I'm surprised more haven't said yes.
I thought people would say yes, if I'm honest. I would have thought, but if you haven't voted, get over there, take the poll, click
and if you have voted, please leave a message in the comments with why you did choose that option.
Yeah, because I'm intrigued actually. I want to know why. We've given you our reasons. Let us know why you guys wouldn't, or if you've clicked yes, why you would. Love to hear it.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, you were going to ask us a question.
Yeah. So my question was, if AI could then, getting further deeper into it, start improving and enhancing human abilities. The reason why I asked this is because I saw an article with a guy who was an amputee, and they pretty much connected an arm to him and he was able to control it with his brain. And you know, if you'd have heard that maybe 10, 20 years ago, that's absurd, right? But now I think we're so used to things being able to do this, it's not so crazy. And it changes the game because now people are able to obviously get a limb back, and I'm assuming they can probably feel. I don't know exactly how it works, but I can only imagine if it's connected to your brain, then it's connected to your nervous system and everything else in order for you to be able to move and do everything with it. So my question is, what's you guys' thoughts on AI having the capability to enhance humans?
You said
me. I was just thinking, when you were saying it, I was thinking, but where do we stop? Where does it stop? We spoke about AI maybe letting people revisit thoughts or revisit people. We're now giving people limbs back. Where?
You want them to be limbless?
Oh, free Sean, yeah.
But
where do we stop though?
I hear you.
I think it's great that you could, and if there was a version of AI that I would rather do, it would be that. But surely it's dangerous.
Yeah.
There must be a line where it starts to become dangerous of what we allow AI to do, and if we just keep allowing it to do things.
But is it not for the greater good?
Yeah, the limbs one is. Yeah.
I'm glad
you're given.
I wasn't too sure, but you know what I mean? I thought you'd be like,
Right, okay,
but even with the limbs though, like, again, that's if their controller is there, because at the end of the day, it's like a computer, isn't it? Computers can be hacked and things like that. Like, is that open to then hacking, and therefore, imagine someone then is controlling
your body without you knowing.
It's hella villainous, but that's where my head goes for like.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because like you said, where's the line? And I always think the line is where it becomes unethical or like villainous, isn't it? When you're using those abilities and enhancements to do bad. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So like, obviously I work with special needs students and things like that. So for them, some of those enhancements would change their lives. Do you know what I mean? And I think that would be excellent for them. But then again, I also think that some of the stuff is what's made those students who they are. And so therefore, are we taking away a bit of, although they had struggles and things like that, but if you meet some of them, they're just amazing, some of them. So by doing that, would they then lose a bit of them, of their personalities and souls, because they don't have, do you know what I mean?
They have to go through that.
That hardship, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting...
Very interesting.
Yeah, I think one thing I'm definitely learning more as I get older, there's always good and bad in every single thing. You can't really have one and not the other.
Well,
So when we're talking about that, and you're talking about, where does it stop? Technically, you can't then have people who are amputees, just for this example, having that, but then, oh no, we got to stop it because, there's other people that may need something else that's not on that level, but we don't want them to get that. It will only continue. It has to continue. Yeah. Because, and that was back to my question, is it for the greater good? And it's a very big question, but isn't people being able to have that choice the greater good?
What choice do you mean?
The choice to be able to enhance or to be able to get something back or whatever it may be.
Is it the greater? But it's the greater good at what cost? So, say for example, we've got the Paralympics, and then now we're saying people that take part in the Paralympics should be able to take part in the normal Olympics, and they were coming out and they were bossing the runs. But then the argument was, yeah, but it's easier for them because they
don't get tired.
And in a way, their leg is doing the if say, let's for example, they've gotten what did Oscar have? Oscar Pistorius. He had it was like a little blade, yeah. So it's really the blade that's doing the work. They're not feeling the impact of hitting the ground every time, like it's springing them. So then if we've got people
pull a
that
hamstring, you know what I mean?
It's true.
And it hurts.
It's true.
And if you've got someone that's got used AI, has got the chip or a chip in them that helps control that part, are we doing the greater good to detriment normal I say normal, but human beings?
And also, like, even without, like, that's a sport thing, but what about just in a normal 9-to-5 job, like the receptionist, like, if you've got something that's enhanced that abilities to doing, like, then the person who doesn't have that, is not an even playing field. So, like, you know, if I was the boss of a job and someone came with the AI that's going to make the job easier, I'm like, at the detriment of the people who don't. Do you know what I mean?
So, and you know what, we were getting, maybe this is like a whole nother Black Mirror episode. So my head is going to this, right? We're all about equality. That's where the world is. That's where it's gonna be. If you're able to get it, and someone else is able to get it, would that not be okay?
Do you know what I saw? There's
would that not be okay?
It's open to everyone.
Yeah, it's not open.
Anything,
I'm not
you're
just talking
giving the less advantage have a chance of experiencing things they
if
could.
If someone like who doesn't have any kind of difficulties like that, and they're able to take it and it can enhance in whatever ways it can, is that bad that they can take it? Should they not be able to? I know. You can't really. It's not an answer to answer right now, but it's just a thought. It's a question that I think, you know, we should think about when we're talking about these kind of things, because ultimately it's not just one type or one set of people. We're talking about the whole world. We could even get into a level you're talking about job wise. It could get to a level where you may need to have or purchase that enhancement to be able to do this job, because your competition.
But then that's discrimination.
Is it?
Of course it is. If you're saying I can't get the job because I haven't got that,
you can still try and get the job, but your chances will be less. You can still try. No one's gonna say try.
It's cute.
By all means, try. You know, but you know, if I've got my chip, and let's say this chip, I can download. You know, I can learn Spanish in 2 seconds because it's connected to my brain, and it takes you. I don't know. Maybe 2 years for you, maybe. It kind of is what it is, you know? Because you have the option to go and get that too.
How long after we're allowing humans to get it, do we just think, actually, cut costs heads, we'll put it in a robot. We'll let the robot do it. We'll function a robot to be able to pick up to learn how to do Spanish in...
We kind of already are using robots to do...
And I watched iRobot last night, but then...
you
might have to call it on them robots.
It's...
They were taking over everything.
I remember that film.
Yeah.
But how long until then humans aren't needed in jobs, normal?
And there's been articles of people saying these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and we've seen it in, I don't know where it was, China. Didn't they have the parcel delivery depot? And they were...
McDonald's opened a store recently.
All electronic on it.
Really?
I always think though, the biggest difference between, like, you can get rid of, but that sense of morality. So a robot's just going to follow the programming, the command, blah, blah, the code, Whereas you'd hope that people have a say, whether they do bad or good, it's a choice they've made. Do you know what I mean? So that morality is what separates robots and humans. And therefore, you know, I think that's the key.
But is the world heading in a direction where we don't really care about
morality.
Yeah.
Well, we care about efficiency.
We get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, and we care about things that can
Cheaply.
make money quicker and everything else. I've got another question for you guys.
Okay.
Because I love my questions. If this implant and this Neuralink that we spoke about can give you the ability to learn something quickly, or I don't know, open doors in your house, wherever it is, it can enhance you. Are you actually saying no? And I want to know why. I really want to know why.
For me, a lot of it is half the journey. Like the learning is part of the journey. It's where you grow as a person. If I'm just going to sit and go, all right, cool. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not growing as a person. I'm not, I can do lots of new things, but it's not giving me any, for me, it's the satisfaction of learning to do something new, you know, putting up a chest of drawers or something like fine, and when you're finished, you're like, yes,
Yeah, sense of
I did
achievement.
that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm downloading them,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a sense of like, don't get me wrong, for some things it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I would say to learn a language or something,
Absolutely.
I'd be like, I'd
Yeah.
love to that. So, because I like travel, like to access the world, that'd be great. But for, you know, like, imagine everybody just downloading how to play football, how to fight, all these things. Like, then what? There'd be no sport, there'd be no nothing, would there? Because everybody can do it.
Everyone's on top of their game.
How can you get the best caliber of everybody?
Anyone, yeah. There
You
would
feel
be
me?
no a world of Ronaldos and
There wouldn't be.
Messis
There wouldn't be.
and I think we are of an age, and I'm putting my age in your age, of we're not. How old are we? 25? How old are we? Guys! So we are of the generation of we put in the graft, the hard work. We're not of the generation that the younger ones are now. The Gen Z, are they like grown up with technology and stuff like that? So I think going on what Jarrell said, we thrive off, a lot of us thrive off the sense of achievement, what we do, the hard, and what our parents have taught us. Growing up, our parents are definitely not of the age of technology where they put in the hard work. So we've now grown up with that.
I agree. We're
mentality.
such a special generation. I remember touching it before.
100%.
Where we started from these nothings and we've seen the whole journey to now.
Yeah.
And, like I remember we had that one episode where we said like even the way our grandparents and our older people are different to the generation now compared to how we were growing up and things like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and like you said, it's yeah.
So I've been waiting because I want to let you guys speak, obviously.
Well, wait,
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you
I want to
think?
not ask you the question.
Yeah, before you
Do you guys, are you guys allowed to do that? Are you guys would I take the implant?
Oh no, just what are your general thoughts on it now that we've given you our thoughts as well.
And if you would take the implant.
It's a double question you got me going, guys. My thoughts on it, I agree. You know, it does then take away like the human identity of being special, because we are all special in our own ways. And when you bring something like this in, it does kind of eradicate that a bit, because we can all do this exact same thing. So I do agree. Would I take it?
You can't say yes and no.
I can't say yes and no. I'm gonna say yes because there's things that I would like to do with it, and I would have to take the good and the bad with that. And whether I can stop myself or not have the temptation to go further with it, that's an answer to be seen, whatever you want to call it. But I would have to say yes because there are things that I would like to do with it, not to be a Ronaldo or a Messi, but for my own personal things. But I wanted to get back to the answers and the stuff that you guys were saying. I was just listening, and your answer about not having the sense of achievement, and you kind of answered it. I think that's coming from a place of our time and our generation. Now I'm going to flip this, and this happened today. Yeah, I'm running for the train, and I get on the train, and I see my guy Paolo. Paolo, shout out to you, obviously, if you're watching this. Hopefully you are. And I haven't seen Paolo in ages. You know Paolo, obviously. And we're just talking about life and etc. And he says to me, we get into the conversation about obviously people working from home and how it is now. And he says where he's working, there was a girl that pretty much studied. I'm not going to get into the details, but she studied for like 5 years, had degree in it, everything, worked it, got to a good level. And literally one day she was like, "Oh, I'm not coming back to work. I'm gonna be an influencer." So, and when I spoke to more about it, he was like, "Yep, she gets paid for a post a week, and this kind of thing." And he's like, I spoke to him. He spoke to his dad about it, and his dad was like, "I don't. My brain can't even understand being able to work. So being able to earn and do nothing. And that obviously that filters down to us and everything else. Maybe not to such a harsh level, but when we're asking this question, and especially now for the generation of thing that we're seeing now, they're not going to care about having this sense of achievement.
You're right. And actually, now that you've said
that part's not going to be in there.
You're right. And now that you've said it, if I could use that enhancement to help me make money, I would do it. Do you know why? Because I've worked since I was 18. I work all day. You know what I mean? Like, it's grueling. And sometimes you don't get that opportunity to enjoy life.
It's true.
And life's short. You miss time with your family. You know, you miss all these things. And so if I had the opportunity to do something like that to make money, therefore I was doing 20% work and 80% of my other things I wanted to do, I would do that 100%.
And here's the question: is that not kind of
that the greater good kind of thing? Yeah. 100% I would do that. Though.
But I have to go back and say, doing social media and influencing and socials, you probably do more than your 9 to 5. You are thinking to get on any sort of algorithm. You are working so much harder than what you would do. I run my own business. We've together run my social media page, and when I done beauty, it's not easy.
So would you not download something that made that easy?
Yes.
And therefore you're then spending 20% on it and 80% with your family and all the things, because that's what you're really doing it for, aren't you? You're doing it so you and your family can have a better life, right?
Yes, and ultimately, because I enjoy doing it, but it's very hard work. But at the same time, my mentality of the sense of achievement, when you've put work in for months, you've put a whole month plan, you've gone out, you've got your content, you're making sure every set of lashes, you're banging out like pictures, and it's not even just one picture. You have to take 6-7 pictures of one client. And then you're putting it up and you see that engagement come in and you see people belling off your line saying, I want you to do my lashes, can I book, and you see your diary packing up. Amazing.
So would you trade that for 1 week and 3 weeks in the sun with your family?
I wouldn't trade it for that, no. When you put it like that.
I'm not even going to answer them kind of silly questions there. No, it is. I guess and previous episodes, and I used to ask the question of, you know, what does it take for something to be real to some people? Because people will always say something's fake and they will dismiss it. And it's kind of like this, you know, what does it take for you to accept that and not and kind of lose the whole sense of achievement about what would it take?
6 figures. But who would go in with what you're saying? You would probably take that opportunity. Yeah.
So the answer is now yes, you would take the implant.
So if you made 6 figures in a week.
Yeah,
okay.
100%. Yeah, you would take it.
Took us 10 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, guys.
I just wanted to give props to influencers. Because the way you said it was like, oh, she's left to be an influencer. No, like there's a hell of a lot of in this day and age. Like we're looking for if we had.
So I know some. Sorry to cut you some. I know some that literally post one thing for this company and make like 5.
That's for a company.
5K.
Yeah.
5K.
Yeah.
Post a week.
Yeah. So that's
hard work.
But why are you getting that money? Because you've got the followers.
Yeah.
How have you got the followers?
But then people also can buy followers. People can buy blue ticks now.
Yeah, no, you can, but you can easily.
Do you know how much money they made off them blue ticks, by the way? I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
These people are sheep. Do you know how much money they...
But this is the world we live in now.
They drop the blue tick to verify with your real or not, even though you already know you're a real person, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Bro, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, we're talking about AI, and AI is obviously here now, and it's pushing even further. But you know, the real change was this whole social media side of things that really started changing so much. And I don't know how long we got going, but like I'm giving you one story. I remember I was talking to my brother and my cousins, and it was Christmas time, and I was wearing my, I like to wear my high tops. You guys can't see it, so don't worry about it.
Them.
He's exclusive.
Zoom in on them.
He's exclusive. He's exclusive. Don't zoom in on there.
Can you get that one, please?
It's alright.
Can you get it so we can see what he had on today?
It's fine, because whenever anyone sees this, they know it's getting cut. They know it's getting cut. Anyways, and we're sitting there and we're just talking, and it's Christmas time, and we've had a few drinks and we're talking, and I think my cousin said to me, she said, like, I don't get how like you can wear those kind of thing. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I just don't get it. And I was like, I love them, it's my style and I love it. Do you know what I mean? And she's like, I could never. And I was like, what do you wear? She's like, oh, I'll wear the white Air Forces that every other girl wears. Do you know what I mean? Someone's wearing white. Someone's wearing white Air Forces right now. I didn't even see it.
And you wonder why it's free short.
I've got a new enemy, guys. I've got a new enemy unintentionally. Damn, man. I should have looked down. Damn. Anyways, and to cut a long story short, they were talking about, and my brother was there too, they were talking about how they'll put up a post, and if it doesn't get 20 likes within the first 5 minutes, they're taking it down. Or they're always contemplating, is that the right one? I'm just like, so who is your Instagram, who is your social media for? Who is it for? Because it's obviously not for you if you're gonna allow likes to dictate it. And my brain couldn't get that, because we didn't grow up in school where
we were
your level of status, or if you want to call it, was based on your followers.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
It's whether you can fight.
Your followers, or how many likes you got on your post. We never had anything like that. So this is really where like a lot of this technology stuff started, because that changes.
And we've had to adapt to that.
Well, yeah, we had to some degree, because we did and we didn't. We had to adapt to it, but we also, lucky for us, and you're talking about special generation, and whoever's not this generation, don't be a hater.
Yeah, we feel bad for you.
But for us, it was never of that level of value. Like us, you having 300 followers, I don't even know how many followers, and you don't even know how many followers, because you don't care. That doesn't do anything. It doesn't make you feel any better. It doesn't make you feel any stronger, and no one's gonna judge you any different about it, especially not your circle. So for us, we kind of did have to adapt to some of it, but we didn't take on all these other anxiety and all those other pressures.
The pressures that come with it.
That come with it. Yeah. And I'm not discrediting the pressures, because obviously it's a real thing. We had other things, like maybe you couldn't come to school dressed like a tramp. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? We had stuff like that.
On Mufti Day, it was long for someone.
Hey, Mufti Day. Hey, you remember Mufti Day? I forgot about Mufti Days, man.
But that was the
pressure.
That was the one time you had to
come correct. It's so correct.
Hey, the ones who come in the school uniform, you know.
It's not. And actually now we're older and you deep, like, why they came in their school uniform and things like that. It's bad, isn't it? Like, think of things like. But when you're in school, you're like, man, this is school uniform. Like,
and you just have it laid out on the bed the night before.
Ready.
Oh, I love it.
So it's almost like, and it's kind of conditioning us and humanity to get used to this this world of your status and your respect level is in the virtual world. It's not in the physical world.
Yeah.
You know, that's where it's at. I mean, we're still talking about AI. We've got a little bit of time. Ready Player One, great game. Great film, Ready Player One. And everybody is pretty much living in this virtual world. Yeah. It's pretty much the metaverse, by the way, if you haven't seen it. Yeah. Come out a while ago, but it's basically the metaverse. And you can be whoever you want. You can be Batman, you can be Spider-Man, whoever you want. And everyone lives in that place. And that's where you get like the money, you make real money there, and all these things. And nobody wants to be in the real world because you're nobody. No one cares.
Yeah.
You know? And if you're looking at social media and not going into the AI side of it and the virtual reality, it's very similar in some ways. Because people really do take that serious. It really is who they are. It represents everything. But my question is, what happens when you go home and you're sat
down? You're by yourself. You in your house, like you and your family. Yeah. Because the chances are your family don't care about your 1,000 followers.
Yeah. Probably not.
Probably
not.
They don't. Yeah.
You know, so we've kind of been conditioned for what's happening to some degree, you know?
That's interesting.
My mind's going back to when you asked about if we would take the chip and stuff like that. I wish it would be available to people a disadvantage in life. I would love to see children with special needs, as you touched on. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about people I know in my life and how much I would love for them and for their parents and their brothers and their sisters to see them at a better stage, let's say. I would love that.
Gotta take the good and the bad.
Yeah.
You know, because it is a good thing. As you said, these people would never have the opportunity. And the people before them never got the opportunity.
Yeah.
Period. You
Yeah.
know? So it is a good thing, but at what cost?
Yeah. Where's the line?
There is no line. There is no line.
Is there not a line when it becomes like ethical and things like that?
Here's a quick one, and I just thought about this. Really quick one, yeah.
Go on.
If you're able to get this thing in your brain, and it can pretty much take everything about you, so it's basically you, and you can then upload yourself into another body.
He's going to work. I'm going to Jamaica.
Like, would that technically mean
Yeah. I would take it that point. Yeah.
He's going to work. Hey,
he's going to work.
Yeah, he's going to work. I'm going to Jamaica, bro. What do you mean?
I'm about it.
But
I hear what you're saying.
You could almost as well.
You could have twins without someone who's think.
And this is a good question for the skeptics of people who don't think people have souls and everything else. Does that technically mean that you can live forever?
Yeah, but also it goes
if
back
it's just
to
the data.
But also then goes back to the first topic we started on today, was that like when she was by the cliff, when she was talking to the body and was like, get out the bed, like you said. He gets out. No, that's not what you would do. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's back to that part. Yeah, you can upload everything, but deep down, is that really the person, the soul, the
And also, there would have to be a cut-off. So if you're getting all your information from my social medias, there's going to come a time where I'm no longer here to upload to my social media.
Right. But
So-
AI keeps learning though.
But it can only learn from what it's given, right?
True.
So you could talk about what Sim would do up until Sim's
point.
past.
Yeah.
But then what would Sim at, say, if I've passed at 90, what would Sim at 95 do?
Right. Or do
So-
you just stay the same?
or do you just stay the same from then?
From then?
Or then do you just...
Or does it, like you said, AI keeps advancing, so then is it
start
able to
creating
take
itself
is it
based on your principles and your, because everyone has
Principles,
three
values,
pillars and values.
yeah.
Everyone has them. So
Yeah.
then does it start working on what it knows of your values?
back to the original command?
Yeah. Does it then start working on that to then create what you would probably be
I don't
like?
think I would like it.
Simi, you're in it, girl. What are you talking about? We're
Do
already
you
in this
think,
world.
but do you
We're
think-
in it now.
But do you think then that it would eventually get smart enough to know it's not the original and try and get rid of the original?
But it's true.
Do you know what I mean?
As humans and as...
Because technically it's
We
not
self-
alive, so it can now live forever.
Yeah.
Unless someone physically destroys it, that can live forever per se. Yeah. So now does it like? Do you know what I mean?
Terminator stuff going on.
No,
I
but
want to get rid of you because you're going to Jamaica and it's at work.
I'm going to Chicago, bro.
Listen, is that why everyone wants to get rid of you?
That is, man, that's a real good question.
Maybe we could pick it up
Another time. Yeah,
but for now, I think that's an amazing place to wrap up this episode.
Wrap it up.
We thank you guys for joining us, coming along on our journey with us. And yeah, if you haven't already, follow us on our socials. We'll put it down below, put it in the links. But until then,
peace out.
Free Sean. Free your boy, man. Free your boy.